Hello all, welcome to another video on this channel where today we're going to be going through Series 3 from 2007. And we're going to be doing every single episode, giving my thoughts on it, giving my ranking on this trusty tier list right here. The categories are best, right at the top, the best episodes. Then underneath we've got great. Then underneath that we've got good. Underneath that we've got okay. And then right at the bottom we've got not for me. Just for episodes that aren't for me. Again, apologies if the camera's a bit choppy. I don't want to stick all my lights on just because it's like the hottest day of the year. So apologies, but you get used to it. Anyway, let's begin with Smith and Jones. This is a very good episode. I think it's one of those ones that I come back to very, very rarely. But when I do come back to it, oh my god, it is so good. It makes me feel certain things that Doctor Who does make me feel in other episodes. So, for example, the introduction to Martha, I genuinely think is probably the best companion introduction. Yeah, in the whole of Who. Maybe Bill in Series 10. I think Bill might be up there as well. But in terms of introducing character, like Bill, her character's introduced great, but Martha, her family are introduced, and you get to see this big family. You know, she's got mum and dad who aren't together. Dad's got a girlfriend. You know, hi Martha, hi. Brother Leo, sister Trish. You know, they've got partners as well, and it sets it all up perfectly. And I think the idea of rain going up is something that's really cool as well. It just keeps it a bit fresh. You know, Doctor Who needs these original ideas, and the rain going up was always cool. I also think it was cool how the hospital ended up on the moon and stuff like that. And I just think the way it was done was great, and it was really good. Really, really good. And I've always said I like when Doctor Who goes all timey-wimey. And at the start of this episode, the episode literally starts, the first piece of dialogue is the Doctor walking up to Martha on the street, taking off his tie and going like, oh, look at this, or whatever. And he goes off, and it's like, well, why has he done that? And then Martha goes in, realises the Doctor is a patient at the hospital, and she's like, why were you outside? And he's like, I wasn't outside. And he keeps just going, oh, what's this? And then at the end, to prove he can travel in time, he goes, look at my tie, goes back in time, comes back and his tie's gone. And it's like, oh my god, yeah, he's done it. So I really like this episode. The Jadoon as well are great villains, and it's really quite sinister harrowing watching these people suffocate on the moon. You know what I mean? And like the whole point is, I mean, there's the whole debate of whether or not the Doctor sexually assaults Martha in this. He does kiss her without her consent, but it's not a sexual romantic kiss. It's I need to transfer air from my lungs to yours. But there's the whole debate on it, so I'm not too sure where I stand on it. I think it's okay because he's saving her life. But in terms of this, like I was about to say, the Jadoon are really, really cool. The fact there's space police, you know, it does make sense because the Time Lords are gone. So who else is going to police the universe? The characters are really good. I forget their names. The old woman. And the resolution is really, really smart. So the Jadoon are coming to find this non-human hiding in the hospital, and it turns out that there is two non-humans. The Doctor, obviously, but the one they're actually looking for is this old lady. So the whole episode is the Doctor and Martha running away, being like, they can't find us because then I'll get killed because I'm a non-human. And in the end, and the lady's going around sucking people's blood. To get the human blood into her, so she's recognised the human, and in the end the Doctor sacrifices himself, so she sucks his blood, and then obviously she's got non-human blood inside of her, and yeah, I can't remember how he comes back to life. I think it's just magic. Doesn't like Martha kiss him or something, he comes back. I can't remember. It's not okay, it's better than that. It's better than good. Is it great or best? Oh, it's a strong season. I'm going to put it in great because there's a lot better episodes this season. Up next, The Shakespeare Code, written by Gareth Roberts, who, funnily enough, is my granddad's name. Shout out Gary Roberts. But Gareth Roberts, that I know, my granddad, Gary Roberts, lovely man. Gareth Roberts, the writer, I've seen is not a very nice man. Apparently, he doesn't like trans people. Allegedly. I don't know. I've just seen murmurs online about it. And funnily enough, actually, on Twitter last night, I saw an original draft for the Shakespeare Code. And there's the whole point of this episode. Well, not the whole point, but a big point of this episode is the Doctor isn't over Rose. He lost Rose and he's not over her. But Martha really likes the Doctor. So Martha's trying to get close to him. They share a bed at one point. And Martha's just led next to him and is like, ooh, two people in a bed, what's going to happen? And he's like, oh, Rose would know what to do. And it's just like, Doctor, stop being such a massive knob, alright? But apparently in that scene, the Doctor was meant to be naked originally. Like, he was actually meant to, like, just have no clothes on, or just wear his pants or something. So, Gareth, man, it's a bit weird. So, and then it was only on the day of filming, I'm pretty sure, or like maybe a few days before filming, that David Tennant was like, and the producers were talking, and they were like, this is a bit weird, like, should we just not do this? And they're like, yeah. So, I don't know, Gareth, mate, but in terms of actual episode, Shakespeare's really cool. I think there's the bit where Shakespeare's quite racist to Martha without realising it, because back then, like, people just said those sort of things and got away with it. I do think the witches are cool. Are they Clarionites? Is that what they're called? I think they're called Clarionites. And it's like, if you say their name, they get like banished for a bit, but it only works once. And then one of the witches says to Doctor, like, something about something glowing, or like it's how it glows. And then it's something about the distant rose. And then he loses it. He loses his head. He's like, oh, you've just said the name that keeps me fighting, and you have no idea what's coming for you now. So that was quite cool, I thought. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's a historical episode. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's... Is it good? It is good. Look, putting writers aside, eventually we're going to get to Series 6 and Neil Gaiman's going to be on here a few times, and I'm going to rank his episodes how I think the episodes are. Neil Gaiman is an abuser. He abuses people. His wife, I think. It was his wife or his girlfriend or something like that. But he did write a good Doctor Who episode, so just... I'm separating the writer from the episode, so apologies if that doesn't sit well with you, but that's just what I need to do here. If it was ranking it on the writer, from what I've heard, it's going down here. But in terms of episode, good is where I'll put it for now. Gridlock! Honestly, I didn't realise up until recent years just how great this episode is. The whole... they're in New York, and that's another great thing about the Doctor and Martha. It's like... The Doctor's like, yeah, I came here once with Rose, and Martha's like, oh, you're taking me to the same place as you took her, and it's like, you know, you don't take a girl to the same restaurant you took another girl, or something like that. Like, it feels like that, but obviously in Doctor terms of planets and things. But I do like it, and I like the idea that the people are stuck on the motorway, and it's the return of the crab things. Oh no, what are they called? I'm a fake fan, guys. I'm a fake fan. Right, hold on. I need to. Do this. Crabs. Doctor Who. The Macra. That's the one. The Macra. Love the Macra. That's the return of those guys. And they're cool. I like the diversity. Each car is different. You know, you've got the naked car. You've got the cat car. Yeah, so is it Brannigan? I think it's Brannigan and his wife, who's actually Bill's mum as well, which is a fun fact. I love Bill, can you tell? But Brannigan and his wife, they have like little kittens as babies, and I think it's just a nice way. There's an elderly lesbian couple, and that again is just like, I always feel like, and I don't want this to get taken the wrong way. Let me tell you a little story. So if this seems offensive, I apologise, but I don't think it is. I love going up to, I live in Gloucester, and I go up to Gloucester Docks sometimes for like a nice walk at night time, and there's loads of restaurants and pubs, and I love, more than anything, and this is going to sound odd, I love seeing like a gay couple just sitting, having a meal at a restaurant or having a drink at a pub, because, and it sounds odd, but hear me out, people hate gay people for just being themselves, and they get hated on for it, you know what I mean, like they get relentlessly comments thrown at them, real life and online, but they don't care, and they be themselves anyway, and they go out and they're openly with their boyfriend or girlfriend in the pub having a drink or a romantic meal, and I just think like that has to be respected, you know what I mean. I always like, you know, it just, there's so many people who think like taking the more high ground is being like, oh, I want all gay people gone, I want my country to be a straight country, but I think it's actually more brave to go, well, this is who they are, and yeah, they'll get hated for it, but look at how brave they are for being themselves out in public. You know, people think that we're all accepting nowadays, but we're definitely not. I mean, I am, and a lot of people are, but in terms of a percentage of a country, there's still so many people who dislike people who are gay, who are trans, who are, I don't know, whatever else there is. You know, I'm not going to name them all because I'll leave one out and then, you know, I'll seem like a bad guy. But, you know, there's so many people who don't like those people for just being themselves, and it makes me a bit sad. And I'm like, I love seeing people out in public who are being themselves, and I'm like, you know what, that's respectable. I don't know where this has come from. In Gridlock, my point is, in Gridlock, there's a lot of appreciation for diversity, whether it be colour, colour and race are the same thing, but near enough. Whether it be, colour, whether it be, sexuality, whether it be height, animal, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's a nice warm episode, and the face of Bo is in here, gives his message of you are not alone. Oh, that's good. First of all, the face of Bo's death scene is horrible. We've only ever seen him 3 times, and the second time was a bit like, what is this? But this is good. We saw the face of Bo, and he told him that you are not alone, which is really cool, because this sort of 2.5 series, 2 series now, have been building up to the fact the Doctor is the last of his kind. But hearing the you are not alone is just, gets you like, whoa, this is cool now. There's someone else out there. And obviously Martha at this point doesn't know he's the last of the Time Lords. And at the final bit of the episode, Martha and the Doctor are talking, and the Doctor explains he's from Gallifrey, he's the last of the kind. And then it's the pull-out shot of the whole city, and they're all singing freedom. The motorway, the face of Bo sacrificed himself to open the motorway. They all got freed, and really, really good. Really, really good story. Really, really good writing. However, I will say about the face of Bo, obviously, spoilers, it's Captain Jack. In Utopia, which we'll get to, the Doctor Martha literally says, it's what the face of Bo said, in front of Jack, and Jack just doesn't say anything, so that's a bit weird. I don't think it was always planned, but who knows. Daleks in Manhattan is crap. Now, originally, this was meant to be written by Moffat, and I think he would have made it better. He was meant to... I mean, we wouldn't have Blink if he did that. But, yeah, the whole point of the Dalek... Well, the Dalek 2-part was originally meant to be written by Stephen Moffat, who wrote The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances, Girl in the Fireplace, Blink, and the Library 2-parter in Series 4. Like, he wrote the best, what is deemed as the best episodes of the Russell era. So I think he could have done something great. I'm going to stick them both in okay. Yeah. I'm going to stick them both in okay, because they I liked them when I was younger, and the pig people are cool. I do like the pig people. The pig people are really cool. And Andrew Garfield's in it, but in terms of a Doctor Who story, it's not great. The only great bit for me is that at the end of this one, the 2-parter, the second part, the one of the Daleks gets away. I think it's Dalek Khan. Is it Dalek Khan? It's one of the two. Gets away at the end, and they obviously come back in Series 4, but it leaves us a reason, because in this one, in the first part, the Doctor realises the Daleks are back, and he says to Tallulah, who's a good up for this episode, he says to Tallulah, like, they always survive when I lose everything. And it does make me think when I watch Doctor Who, especially nowadays, I mean, they haven't been on screen for a while, but in the Chibnall era, the Daleks would come back every New Year's Day, and I'd just be like, at the end of every single time the Doctor faces the Daleks, it's like, they're gone now, we've wiped them all out, and then next year they're back again, and it's just like, come on, man. But I like the fact in this one, a Dalek gets away, so we expect a Dalek to come back in the future. We expect it to be in the finale, because they're always in the finale. So that's a good little, diverge away from the actual ending. But obviously we keep seeing Harold Saxon posters as well in modern day. I think at the start of the Daleks in Manhattan, we see that. So keep your eyes peeled for what that means. But yeah, no, these episodes aren't great, I'm not going to lie. I think if they were written by Moffat, they'd be better. But then we wouldn't have Blink. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, next up, the Lazarus Experiment. This is when we first start seeing Vote Saxon posters in modern day 2007. Yeah, it's a great episode. People always crap on it for its terrible CGI and Mark Gatiss. You cannot just hate on Mark Gatiss because he's Mark Gatiss. Yes, he doesn't write great Doctor Who episodes, but he didn't write this one. He just acts in it, and he's acted in about 19 different Doctor Who episodes. Any chance that man gets to be in Doctor Who, he does. But the Lazarus Experiment, I think, is very, very good. The actual adventure is really, really cool. Basically, a man who wants to make himself... He's an old man who wants to make himself young again. He does it. But it turns him into the radiation turns him into some, weird creature, and he tries to eat people. It's really, really cool. The CGI, I'm not gonna lie, terrible. I understand why people hate the CGI, but the actual episode, really, really good. And this is when Martha's family start to take a dislike to the Doctor, because Harold Saxon has sent out agents to warn people away from the Doctor. this agent talks to Martha's mum and is like, your daughter's with this man, but he is dangerous. He is so dangerous. Keep her away from him. And that is the start of the series arc of like, oh my god, is the Doctor really a bad guy? Or is there something else, something fishy going on here? It smells of fish, basically. But yeah, no, the episode itself, really good. Really good. Oh god, I'm going to have to put it in great, but people are going to hate on me for that. I think I'm going to put it in great. Or is it good? Oh no, I'm stuck. This is the first time I'm stuck. No, it's going in good. I'm sorry. I'm bound to peer pressure. I'm very sorry. This, however, can go at the bottom. 42. Chris Chibnall, go away. Please. Stop writing television. You're crap. No, I don't mean that. No, he has, in all fairness, I was watching Torchwood the other day, and he wrote some good Torchwood episodes. Even if they are very much written, he wrote it with one hand, if you get what I mean. But 42 is a terrible episode, in my opinion. I was mentioned in my last video Michael Coolwood. Or was it the first episode? No, it was the first episode. Michael Coolwood, who does similar things to what I'm doing now, just ranks all the episodes. He actually likes 42, which is odd, in my opinion, because I think it's crap. I like the fact that it's 42-minute episode. So, you know, in 42 minutes, the thing's meant to blow up. Obviously, they save it last minute. The idea of the sun going into the... I mean, when the sun goes into the Doctor, that is really bad. Like, the way it looks is just terrible. The whole burn with me thing is just really cheesy and corny and a bit like, you don't need to add that, do you? And the worst bit for me is at the end of the episode, there's... The bloke who's been with Martha the whole time is like, oh, have you got a boyfriend? And it's like, there's been no romantic chemistry. There's not even been... normal chemistry between them, so I don't believe that for a second. So it's just another classic Chibnall thing happens, and that's another thing about this episode. It is just thing happens. Nothing like is built up to. It's just this thing happens, and that happens a lot in Chibnall's era. But I will say I've gone back and rewatched Chibnall's era just over the past few days. It's not as bad as I remember. It's not great though, really not great, but it's whatever. Yeah, 42 at the bottom for me. I will say the only good bit, which probably wasn't even put in by Chibnall, was probably put in by Russell, was when Martha calls her mum when she feels like she's about to die. She goes off in an escape pod and she's just drifting towards the sun. And she rings her mum and she's like, "Mum, I love you." And we find out that her mum, this phone call that her mum's on is being hooked up to by a worker for Harold Saxon. And that, again, is the overarching story of, like, why is this person listening in to her conversations? What's going on? Really cool. Obviously, we'll find that out in a bit. I'm not going to lie, there's not been many... I tell you what, I was about to say there's not been many in the best, but I'm looking at the rest of the episodes, and I think they all might be in best. Human Nature is an incredible episode. I think it's probably, this two-parter, is probably the best episodes to come out of the Russell T Davies era. I think it's either these two or the Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, but I'm gonna rank them together because they are just both so good. The Human Nature and Family of Blood two-parter is where the Doctor has to hide away from the... I forgot what they're called, but they're called something. Are they just called the Family of Blood? I think they are. And he has to put his memories into the fob watch, into the Chameleon Arch. And this is good because it again sets up the end of the series. But it's a unique idea. I don't think it's been mentioned before this, unless I'm being stupid. I don't think it was mentioned in Classic Who. But the Chameleon Arch stores the Doctor's memories, and if the watch is opened, the Family of Blood can smell them. Basically, the point is they need to get away from the Family of Blood, so the Doctor's going to pretend to be human. He is human. He's put all his Time Lord in this fob watch. And they're going to wait for the family to go past and he'll open it again and become himself. But the issue is the family still find them because this little boy takes the fob watch and opens it. And then the family comes to the school where the Doctor works and Martha works. And obviously the Doctor doesn't know he's the Doctor. That's the point. So Martha's like, "Doctor, open the thing." And he's like, "Who are you on about? I'm John Smith." And it's this great thing. I will say, this is again one of those very rare parts. If this never happens to me, but this is a rare part where the second part is better than the first part. For me, especially with Russell T Davies, the first part is always better. The first part builds up to this amazing, like, what's going to happen, and then actually the resolution's a bit crap. With this, oh my god, the ending of like Joanne Redfern, who is the Doctor's love interest. And he's like, come with me in the TARDIS. When he's back as the Doctor, he's like, Joe, come with me as the TARDIS. But she realises, you're not John Smith, you're the Doctor. I fell in love with John Smith. And if the Doctor... this is a great line. I might butcher it, but she says something like, if the Doctor had never landed here, would any of these people have died? And it's just like, oh my God, yeah, like, he's caused all these people to die. People that Joanne knows, and all he's doing is saying... do you want to come travel with me? Like, it's just like, it's so good. So good. Yeah, Human Nature, Family of Blood, it's gotta be at the top. It has to be. So good. So good. Blink, again, like, it's no surprise, Blink's going to the top. Like, it's just incredible. Fun fact, this is an episode that I fall asleep to. This is my comfort episode to sleep to. I don't know why. It's not as scary to me anymore because I know how the episode goes bit by bit. But yeah, if I need to fall asleep to an episode, I just stick this on. It's just very comforting. It reminds me of my childhood. Because it's sort of set when I was a little young boy. Literally a little, like that big young boy. But yeah, no, the vibes are cool. The bit at the start's a bit corny and a bit cheesy of like, Sally Sparrow, duck. Like, how did he know she was going to rip that back at the right point? He didn't. It was actually, Stephen took it from a comic. Was it a comic or like a magazine story he did for Doctor Who that he just took and put into a real episode because he was, like I said, he was meant to do the Dalek two-parter, but he didn't have time because I think he was doing something else. It wasn't Sherlock at this point, but he was doing something else. Oh, sorry, I've just had some sweets and I feel a bit ooh. But yeah, Sally Sparrow is great. Is it Kerry Mulligan who plays Sally Sparrow? Brilliant actor. Again, I love when Doctor Who gets all timey-wimey, and the Angels are a perfect example of that. How like the bit where Kathy's grandson comes to visit Wester Drumlins to give Sally the letter from when she got sent back in time. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. The Weeping Angels themselves look terrifying. They made kids all up and down the country terrified of statues for ages, especially that scene at the end. Just to top it off, Moffat at the end sticks a scene of just loads of different statues, like normal looking statues, to make you wonder, like, oh my God, the normal statues kind of come to life. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. And they are scary, the concept you can't blink without dying. I mean, obviously Amy Pond did sort of like give us the resolution to that. If you're out in public and you see an angel, you don't blink, you just go and blink one eye at a time, and you still keep an eye contact on it. Obviously, if you're in like a basement, they'll just point to the light and turn it off, and then you're done in. But if you're out in public, you got no excuse. You've got no excuse to die to them pesky angels. But yeah, Blink's very good. I like it. I like the guy, Billy Shipton, good guy, and I like the other guy, Kathy's brother, who I keep going to say Nancy, but that's not her, that's from the other one. Sally and the guy, Sally and Shipton, no, Sparrow and Shipton, they go on to do their own DVD shop or whatever it is. Great episode, great episode. Utopia, going in best as well. Another great episode from the Doc and the companions. Captain Jack's back. Obviously, the end. This is when the first series of Torchwood was airing, and it's really cool because at the end of Days, which is the final episode of Torchwood season 1, Jack hears the TARDIS in Cardiff. That's like an M&M bar. Jack hears the TARDIS in Cardiff. But he runs out to the top, and he runs towards the TARDIS on Cardiff Bay, and he's like, and he grabs onto the TARDIS, and he's flying through the time vortex on it, and they end up at the end of the universe, and the Doctor's like, I've never been this far, the classic, I've never been this far before, which he does every few seasons, and yeah, they land at the end of the universe, and there's like the not humans with the teeth and stuff like that, which is quite cool. I like the bit where, two bits I like at the very start is when Martha's like, oh my God, this guy has just died. I don't know what's happened there. Ignore the background. I don't know. The Martha's like, this guy has just died. What are we gonna do? He's just clung onto the TARDIS and he's dead because of us. And the Doctor's like, give it a minute. And then Jack does the thing where he's like, and he comes back to life, and Martha's like scared, and it's really cool. And the bit where Jack's like, I looked at the list of the dead, and it said Rose Tyler. And the Doctor's like, no, she's alive, she's in a parallel universe, and it's all happy, and yeah. Because the Battle of Canary Wharf, it did a lot of damage to modern-day London. And Jack explains to Martha that Rose was blonde and stuff like that, and like little things about that, and it just makes Martha be like, oh, of course she was blonde, you wouldn't look at anyone else, would you, and stuff like that. And it's like, it just does give like classic girlfriend is jealous of the ex type thing, and it's really cool. And the premise, obviously, with Derek Jacobi, I think his name is, who plays Professor Yana. Yana being what the face of Bo said, you are not alone, Yana. Chantho is a very, very cool character. I love Chantho. Chantho is like, I think she's blue. She's got like little things coming off her face. She's like a lizard lady. Hear me out. But Chantho, she has to start every sentence with Chan and ends it with though. Otherwise it's rude. So if you say like, hey Chantho, what's your favourite food? She'll say like, oh, Chanth, sushi, though. Or something like that. Or like, what's your favourite colour? Chan, red, though. And stuff like that. And it's like, cool. And Martha gets her to just say words without saying Chan or though at the end. And she does it and she feels really like naughty. She's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. And I do like it. It sort of just plays on like rules and stuff and what's the social norm for us and things like that. It's really, really cool. Really, really cool. And then obviously Martha finds a fob watch for Yana. And she runs and she's like, Doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. No, she's like, Doctor, I like this fob watch. He's got a fob watch, same as yours. And the Doctor's like, no, this is all right, but I'm not alone, am I? I'm not alone in the universe. And then he runs off. Of course, the main premise for this is Professor Yana's building a big rocket to take all the last of the humans, the few 100,000 left of humans, to Utopia. And we get the insane bit where Chantho, the Derek Jacobi opens the fob watch and he becomes the Master again. He gets the memories of the Master, and Chantho shoots him because he's turning evil. And it's so good because Chantho dies. The Master kills Chantho, but Chantho shoots him, so he regenerates then into John Simm from Life on Mars. And it's such a good scene. And then the Master steals the TARDIS. Takes it to modern day London, where he becomes Harold Saxon, the Prime Minister. This is a good payoff. You know what I mean, Russell? This is a great payoff. Why can't you do that nowadays? I love you to bits, Russell. I really, really do. And I love your stories. But your season arcs, like, it's just all hype and then, like, this is the answer. We need more of this, man. Stuff teasing throughout that makes sense. Right, take this for example. In season 3, you've got the Vote Saxon posters in the background. If season 3 was set now in modern day, it would be people just constantly saying, oh, Doctor, Harold Saxon says hello. And it's like so obvious. You know what I mean? I like, instead of like I don't know. I don't even know. What was the series arc this? May the 24th and like the Earth disappearing. To be fair, that wasn't too bad. No, okay. What would have been better is if like occasionally we saw on a screen Earth defeated 24th of May, but it wasn't brought up. It's when they go like, oh yeah, you've probably heard of Earth, and they're like, oh, what's Earth? And it's like, oh my god, what's happened to Earth and stuff like that. And I wish it was more subtle, personally. But yeah, Master steals the TARDIS, becomes Harold Saxon, and the gang are trapped with the not people trying to get in. Sound of Drums is going again. Is that the part 1? Yeah, Sound of Drums going straight into top tier. It is so good. So good. It explains how the Master looked into it's not the Time Vortex, it's the other one. Not the Howling Void, I've forgotten what it's called. He looks into some sort of Time Vortex thing, and he gets the drum beat in his head, and he's constantly got ba-ba-ba-bum, 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 the heartbeat of a Time Lord playing in his head. And the Doctor and Martha and Jack somehow just teleport back to Earth. It's one of those cliffhangers where it just gets resolved in the first 10 seconds of the next episode. They teleport back to Earth, and the Doctor's like, yeah, I see him, he's Harold Saxon. And a bit I do like is at the end of Utopia, when the Master transports, because obviously if Derek Jacobi was the Master, Martha would look and go, well, you're like the Prime Minister. But because he changed into Harold Saxon, we just hear his voice, and Martha's like, oh, I know that voice, and it leaves you thinking, wondering, like, oh, how does she know? And it's because he's Harry Saxon, who beats his wife. He does beat his wife in this episode. It's very, very dark. You know, there's bruises all up her arm and on her neck and stuff, which is dark, very, very dark for Doctor Who. But yeah, I do like I do like it. I do like it. Not the beating. Well, I like the beating in the episode. I don't like beating in real life. But there's the bit where they're on the run and they're hiding away because Harry, well, the Master plays like CCTV footage, being like, if you see these guys, get away from them. And this is the big payoff of Martha's family get kidnapped to work for Saxon for a whole year. Oh, God, it's horrible. And there's a scene where they're in like have you seen Torchwood Children of Earth? Well, you've probably seen this series, haven't you? You're like, I don't know why I'm explaining. You've definitely all seen this series. But there's a scene where they're like hiding in a warehouse, and Jack opens his computer and he's like, "Doctor, there's something I haven't told you." And the Torchwood logo comes up. Now, obviously, Torchwood is what killed Billy Piper. So he's like, the Doctor loses it, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're working for Torchwood after everything they did." And Jack's like, "Oh, I changed it now. I changed it. I hired Gwen Cooper and Yanto Jones, and I like to secretly go off and have sex with both of them, even though one of them has a boyfriend." I don't know. Torchwood's a good show. It's very, very inappropriate for kids, and I remember watching it when I was younger, and I just didn't pick up on it. But yeah, Torchwood. Yeah, he works for Torchwood now. We all know this anyway. We're viewers. And yeah, that's borderline it for the episode. The cliffhanger is, the Master releases the Toclifane, which are like little steel balls coming from the sky. And the episode ends with the Master being like, "Oh, Doctor, you figured out what the Toclifane are. You figured out what they are." And we are like, "What are they? What are they? What are they?" And it's revealed in The Last of the Time Lords that the Toclifane are the people from Utopia who went on the rocket and got sent up into the sky. So sad, because Martha finds one and it's like the skies are made of diamonds. Really, really cool. Part 3 of this 3-part finale is the Martha on the run for a year. She has to spread the word of the Doctor for a year. She spreads the word to everyone around the world. She's on travels on undercover still, and she's spreading the word of the Doctor. Martha's family is still working for Harold Saxon. Harold Saxon's wife is still getting beaten by Harold Saxon. It's very, very dark. And at the end of the episode, what it is, Martha gets teleported back up, and Martha has spread the word of the Doctor to everyone. So everyone thinks the word Doctor, because they've all got a psychic link in them with the Master. They all start thinking of the Doctor, and this brings the Doctor back to, like, because he gets like shriveled to an old person. It brings him back to his normal self, and he becomes Space Jesus and just basically throws the Master into the corner. And then, the whole episode has been building up to, like, the Master's like, "What do you have to say about my work, Doctor?" And the Doctor's like, "I've only got one thing to say to you." And when he finally defeats him, the Master's going insane. He's holding his head. He's like, "Oh no!" And the Doctor hugs him and just says, "I forgive you." And I really like that. There's a lot of people that don't like that. It's like, this guy's literally caused genocide almost. Pretty much has caused genocide. And you're saying you forgive him, but that's what Doctor Who's about. It's about forgiving people no matter what, because you want to be the best. The Doctor is the best person. And the episode ends with like, "Yeah, you're not alone, Doctor. I'm going to keep the Master in the TARDIS. I might have to settle down for a bit. I'm going to look after him. I'm going to make him reform." With pre-Series 10, Series 10's on his way. But the Doctor's like, "Yeah, I'm going to reform the Master. He's going to be a good guy now because of me." And then Harold Saxon's wife, Lucy, shoots him. And this is just the cream on top. Not the cream on top, what's the phrase? The cherry on top. Cream on top. The cherry on top. Being like, yeah, he definitely beat her up. Was very, very horrible to her. But it is also very sad, because Time Lords can choose whether or not they regenerate. They don't just do it. They choose whether or not to do it. So the Master's just led there, and the Doctor's like, "No, I don't want to be alone," because he's spent 2 seasons being alone. He's like, "I don't want to be alone. Please just regenerate." And the Master dies. He chooses not to regenerate, and he goes, "I win," and he dies. And I just think that is just so greatly written. It's amazing. Obviously, he does come back, and the whole Time Lords come back, but it's a really good ending for what is. I think Russell was debating to be his final season. Obviously, he did one more and some specials, but yeah, that's season 3, ranked by me. At the bottom, we've got 42. In OK, we've got Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks. In good, we've got the Shakespeare Code and the Lazarus Experiment. In great, we've got Smith and Jones and Gridlock. And in the best, we've got Human Nature, Family of Blood, Blink, Utopia, The Sound of Drums, and Last of the Time Lords. Apart from dodgy CGI, this is a very, very good season. Very, very good. This wasn't shot in high definition. The issue that comes in when Doctor Who starts getting shot in high definition, makes CGI look terrible. When it's on standard definition, that it sort of blends in. There's like choppy camera work, but yeah, but that's not this yet. This is just terrible CGI for majority of the series. But in terms of story and characters, it's a great series. Great series. If you haven't watched season 3 in a long time, definitely recommend a rewatch. But yeah, for now, I've been Sam from Cybers Industries. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your rankings in the comments below, where you'd rank all of these episodes. If you agree with my picks, if you don't agree with my picks, share it to a friend who loves Doctor Who. You can leave a super thanks in the comments if you so wish, but absolutely don't have to. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Sam, and see ya.